we are going to do. Okay, semi. So first of all, I have also created a basic structure. Okay,
Okay.
and I will go with the simple. The only thing you have to do is, semi, you have to make it more beautiful. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? You have to make it more beautiful. You can do that, right? Or we can do it together also. So let us do that. Let us start working on it. For now, I will share my screen. Okay, and you can see my screen, right? There is
Okay.
one thing, Simi. Whenever you do right click somewhere, you will be on the full screen. Okay. Whenever you do right click here, you will be on the full screen. Are we getting it? Are we getting it? Whenever you do right
No.
click, sorry,
Whenever
whenever
I
you,
right
sorry,
click.
sorry, so sorry. Whenever you do double click anywhere, you will be on the full screen like that. And you will be able to see everything very clearly, more clearly. And whenever you do double click again, you will come out of the full screen. That is the first thing.
Okay.
So there are so many things we have to understand here. Okay. This is our basic weather application. Okay. I've already created it because you also have created the front end application. We also have, I also have created here one front end application, a very simple one. Okay. Later we can add more images, right? We can add images, we can add more colors, we can add more frames, we can add more features that we will do. But for now, we have created a very basic front end that has a simple entry section and that has some button, right? Let me just bring it here, right? Let me just, so sorry. Let me just bring it here. And currently you can see that there is a city section here and there is a London, right? There is a London. Already we can write anything. I can write Oslo there, right? And whenever you click on get weather, it should connect to the Open Weather Map API. Yeah. So whenever, Simi, you're there, right?
Yes, I come.
No. So whenever you basically click on this get weather, it will connect to the backend and it will bring things. We will try to understand the architecture of the front end and back end. That is the first thing. We have to understand some architecture and flow of the work, how we are sending the data, how we are receiving the data. These kind of things we are going to understand. Is it fine? So this is our
Yes.
front end thing, right? What I can do here, I can just copy everything from here and I can go there in Excel. Okay, I will just paste it here, whatever I have copied from there. Okay, this is our front
Okay.
end, and I will just make it little bit smaller. Okay, just to make you understand, it's not that important also, but let me just do it. Okay, this is our basically, I can say that I will draw a very simple line, simple thing here. That this is our basically front end. I will let me write that. This is our front end. Okay. Now, Semi, they are going to have a back end. There is a website, or we can say that there is a company called Open Weather Map API, and they are going to have a backend. Okay. So here I will write that backend of Open Weather Map API. Okay. So Open Weather Map API, that is the company name, or I will just write. I will write here that this is the backend API application programming interface of Open Weather Map, the company. Okay. Then there is going to be a database. Okay. There is going to be a database. What you do basically, Semi, you write something here, right? And you click on the get weather. What happens in that case? When you click on that, the request goes there. right? The request basically goes there. This is our request, right? This is our request. You can see everything, right? And
Yes,
then what
it is
what are
communicating.
you? Yeah. So basically, you send a request. Okay. Then what you are going to do, this backend is going to. So let's say that we are sending the city name. Let's say that we are sending Oslo, that city name, right? I want to know the information of that weather, of that city. Then for Oslo, it will first of all verify the request. There are different ways to do it. Again, I will explain that. So
Okay.
what this again I will explain what are the things we are going to have in the backend API. We will understand that also. But let's say that we have sent a request for Oslo. That request is going to the API. It will do some verification. It will do some validation kind of thing. And after that, what it again how it does, what are the processes we have to follow? Again, we will see that. Okay. But after verifying everything, it is going to basically send the request to database, and basically it will fetch the data from the basically it will fetch the data here from the database. After fetching the data, the backend will send the information to you. Okay, let me just write in a very simple way that it will send the request to you, and then it will you are going to display here. Okay, again. So then you so basically you send the request. Then this backend is going to verify. It will do some authentication, verification, and after that, for the city, it is going to send the it will try to fetch the data from the database. Database will send the information, and then you are going to get the response from the backend. You are going to get the response from the backend. There are two things here, right? You send the request, you get the response. You send the request and you get the response, right? You send the response and you get the response. This is the basic architecture. But again, there are different things. When you talk about the backend API, same when you talk about the backend API, here we have different kind of methods. We are going to have we are having a get method here that will basically have the route. Okay, a route for any city to get the information, right? Then it can have a post method also. There are different kinds of methods in the post in the backend. Let's say that we are going to have a post method here on the backend, and that is also going to have some route. Let's say that city, or let's say we want to post some data. I want to store some data in the database. For that again, for that we use post method. There are some other methods also. There is something called put method. I will not mention the route, but again we can have a route there, that if you want to modify some data, then you will send the request to put. You will actually send the put request. If you have to delete anything, so in that case we are going to have another method called delete, that will define the route where you can send the request to delete things. Let me revise the concept. Okay, if you want to delete the data, so see here in the backend we are going to have four kinds of basic methods. Are you understanding that? In the backend we are having four different kinds of methods. If you want to fetch any data, right? If you want to fetch any city's data from the database, you just want to get the data, nothing else. I just want to know what do you have about this city. In that case, we use the get method. Are we understanding it? Whenever
Yes,
you just have to know, you don't have to do anything. You just want to know what do you have for Oslo? Okay, what do you have for Oslo? In that case, you are going to send the get request. You will send the get request. Let's say that I want to push something there. I want to save something in the database. You don't usually do that in the OpenWeatherMap API, but let's say that this is not the OpenWeatherMap API. Let's say that this is a Facebook. Okay, this is a backend of Facebook. In that case, what will you do? You need to upload some photo, right? You need to upload some
Yes.
photo. Let's say that if you have to upload some photo, what you are going to do? You are going to send a request to the backend. But what kind of request you are going to send? What kind of request you are going to send? You are going to send a request called post request. Are you understanding that? So basically
Yes.
you will send a post request. In the backend we have a post method that defines the route. Again, what is a route we will understand later, but we send a post request and we send the image, and that gets uploaded here in the database. Are you understanding that whenever you have to upload, whenever you have to add something to the database, you send the post request? Are you understanding it? Let's say that you have
Okay.
already posted something. You have posted a message, or you have posted something to your Facebook account, right? And you want to modify that. In that case, again, you will send the request from front end to the back end, but this time you are going to send the put request. And we are going to define the developers, backend developers of Facebook, they have defined one route for the modification. That request will come here. You are going to, with the request, you are going to send what are the modification you want to do. Then put request will do the verification, it will do some validation, it will fetch the previous information that you had posted, and it will do the modification whatever you have done there, and then it will save in the database. It will fetch the, first of all, it will fetch the previous data, it will do some modification, and it will save the data there. Are we getting it? Let's say that I want to delete a
Yes.
photo. Yeah, let's say that I want to delete a photo or delete a post. In that case, from the front end, you are going to send a request, but this time you are going to send a request for delete method. We will understand that. We will understand that better using Postman also. But for now, let's keep it very simple. Okay. Now I will ask you some questions. Same. What is front end and what is back end? Let us start from there. What are the three components we have in the full stack development? Let's say that like this is kind of full stack architecture. So what are the three components we have in the full stack architecture? We can say that this is our full stack architecture.
Yes. Request.
No, the front end part,
No.
the second is the back end part, right? And
Yes.
third
And
is the
database.
database. These are the three
Okay.
things. What are the two important things we do with the between the front end and the back end?
We send request
We
and we
send the
take
request
response.
and we get the response. Very good, Sami. Right. What are
Yes.
the different kinds of requests we have? What are the
We
different
have
kinds of requests we have?
get,
Get,
post, and
post,
delete.
put, delete, put and delete. There are four kinds of request methods basically we have, and that
Yes.
is everywhere. Like that is everywhere. Whenever you are using any application, any crude application, what does that mean? Crude means C means create. Okay, C
Okay.
means create. R means read. Okay, U means update. Okay, U means
Okay.
update, and D means
D means
delete.
delete.
For create, what do you do? For create, you use post method. For read, you use get method. Okay. For update, you use put method, and for delete, you use delete method. Are you understanding that?
Yes.
Facebook is a crude application. What are you doing there? You are creating a post, right? You are creating a profile, right? To create a profile, to create a post, to upload an image, you use post method that is under creation. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Same. The second thing, Facebook is a crude application. Second thing is read. What do we mean? Once we have created our profile, we can read our profile also, right? We can get into our profile and we can see our profile section, right? We can see all of the post that we have done. We can see all of the images we have. What are we doing? We are reading our own post. We are reading our profile. We are reading our information that we have stored there. Is it fine? Is it clear? Same. Is
Yes.
it clear? So this is what we do. For that, what are we using? We are using get method. Are we getting it? Once we
Yes.
have once we have added something, right? Let's say that this is my Twitter account, right? If I go to my Twitter account, I have already added some profile, added some posts, right? If I want to, let's
Yes.
say that if I want to, let's go to this section, right? Let's go to this section or any of my post. Let's say that this is the section here, right? I want to basically change it. I want to edit the post or something like that. They have provided the just a second. Let me just. Why can't I do that? We have the option for edit post. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. Okay, let's say that I'm posting something. Hello, Sami, right? What are we doing? We are posting. Can you see that? Semi. We are posting, and that post is coming from that post method. I hope that is clear, right? When I click
Yes.
on the post method, what is happening? And the backend, you are sending the post request, right? And when you go to the profile section, you can see that hello semi is there, right? That is the post method we have done already. What are we going to do? When you click on the edit post, can you tell me, Semi, what are we doing? Now we are trying to update it. That
Put.
means put method, right? Whenever I'm saying that hello, right, Semi, or I will just write hello. And when you click on the update method, it will send the update, right? You are sending the request, but this time you are using the put method. You are sending what you want, what changes you want to make. It is going to fetch the data from the database and then it is going to do the modification, right? That time we are using the put method to update things. You can see that also. You can see everything. Whenever you are doing that, what did we do? When I click on this specific post, what did we do? Same. We actually try to read it, right? We try to read it, and for that we use the get method. Are we getting it? We have already posted some images, right? I've already
Yes.
posted some images that say that this is the image I want to fetch, or I want to basically zoom in. Whenever I'm clicking on it, basically it is going to send you the full image, and you are seeing that. You can see everything.
Yes.
Whenever I do a right click, and if I do inspect, there is a network section. Can you see that whenever you do something here? No, Semi, it will actually send some request. Let me clear everything from here. Okay, I've cleared everything. Okay, let's say that I've cleared everything. Whenever I go somewhere, whenever I click somewhere, can you see that there are so many requests that is going to the backend? There are so many requests that is going to backend. If you click on that, can you see that we are using the get method? Can you see that there is a request method that has been used, and that request method is called get. That means we are trying to fetch the data. Are we getting it? You are When we are sending the get request to the backend, and it is giving you the response. That response has the data, and we are displaying the data here. Can you repeat that? Say, can you repeat whatever we have learned? I want you to understand this. You are a very good student, and if you understand all these things now at this stage, I will be very happy. I will be super proud if you understand these things, and that is why I'm putting a extra effort to make you understand things. Can you repeat what did we understand?
Okay.
And you have to make a note also. Okay, create a note, write a blog, write a article. Please do that. Okay, please do that like somewhere like in Google Docs or something. Send it to me. Okay, that you can do. So yeah, tell me, what
Okay.
did we learn? Yeah, using the Twitter example, using the X example, what did we learn about the crude method? First of all, tell me that.
Okay. We can create a post
Mm-hmm.
in the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
We can update the post that we created.
And for updating,
We can
what method we used? For
re-
creating, what method we used? For updating,
put.
what? Okay, for creating, we used
We are using post method.
post.
We are using post method for creating.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and we are using put method for updating.
Uh-huh.
And we can also click on a post that we sent and get it, read it.
We can
We are
read it.
using get method.
We are using get method. Very good.
Yes,
And then let's say that I want to
please.
delete anything. Let's say that this is okay. By the way, this is the blog I have written for my B.Tech students basically. Like that is a very complicated concept, and like I have written that for my students so that they understand things. So this is what I have written, right? Let's say that I want to delete. There is an option called delete, right? And whenever you click on that, there we are basically when you check the inspect here, hit it settle. Okay, let's go to the last one, right? Let's go to the last one. And when I'm clicking on delete, there will be some delete method. I don't know. There is okay. Can you see that delete bit? Right? We are deleting. Okay, they have actually
Yes,
created a route with the post method only. That can be done. Again, there is a thing you have to understand. Later, you will understand it. No, this is a delete. There, so on the backend, you can do everything using get and post method. This is the core method. These are the two core methods. But basically, whenever you want to do it specifically, you can use get post and let me show you something. For that, I will share my entire screen. Let me share, stop, and let me share my entire screen. Like now, you might be seeing my entire screen, I think. Yeah, you are seeing entire screen,
yes,
right? Now, if I go there and if I click on Postman, this is a tool that we use to play with the backend. Right? Basically, there we can send the get post put delete. There are some other method also like patch. We have head, we have option. There are different kinds of methods. Basically mostly we can do most of the operation we can do using get and post, but there are specific methods also for specific things. You can use it, or you can define all the route using get and post method also. Both thing basically you can do it. Here in this specific case, the backend developers, they might be doing the same thing, the deletion kind of thing, whatever you are sending for the deletion, they might be, they might have created the route of deletion using the post method also. Post is also kind of you are sending some request to make some changes in the database. You can do that. You can't use get method here, but yeah, you can use post method. That depends completely on the developer, the backend developer, and like they can choose what they want to do. It depends on the architecture they are following. But these are the four basic methods we have for different kinds of function. Okay, so that is what we have. Let me just come back here. Let me share the window. Now you can go to the full screen, and again you can see that we have sent the request, we are getting the request. While sending the request, we have different options to do. We have already learned that. Now let's come back to the weather information, right? Weather open weather map API. So here in this case, there is a backend for open weather map API. So they provide the backend API. They provide the get, post, put, and delete method. What are we going to do? Whenever you have to know the information of a specific city, you are going to send the request, but you are going to send the get request. They will send you back the response. and that response is going to have the data, and you have to display that. Okay, now let's come back. This is the front end code, right? This is our front end code. What are we going to do here? First of all, we want to know the city name, so I will write city is equal to, and we have, there is a entry section here, right? There is a let's see that. So there is a entry section here. I want to know the entry dot get. This is not the get method of the API. First of all, you know that.
Yes.
Okay, this is not the get method of the API. This is the get method of our Tkinter. Okay, if it will get the city name and it will store the city name here in the variable. Then what are you going to
Okay.
do? You need to send the request to the backend, and to send the request, we need to have the address of this backend. You can read the API. First of all, Semi, you need to go to the OpenWeatherMap API and create your own account. Okay. Go to OpenWeatherMap API and create your own account. First of all, do that. Semi. You
Okay.
can share the screen and go to the OpenWeatherMap API and share the screen.
Okay.
Create your own account there. No, you don't have to select all those things. That's okay. I'm not a robot. Go down, go down.
Okay.
Create account. Password confirmation doesn't match. Okay. Keep a very simple password. Oh man.
Yes.
Save it, cancel or something. Um, you are not using in the any company, right? So you can cancel it or something. Just try to cancel it. Yeah, go to the semi. Can you see that semi on the top right section? Click on that. My API key. Click on that. And here you have the key. You can generate your own key also, but you have the key. Just keep it there. Okay. Now come back here. Semi. Again, come back here.
Okay.
Now what do we need? The thing is that we have our front end. We have to send a GET request for the city, right? For the city information. That we are going to do here. But for that, you need to have the address where you want to send, right? There is some address of the backend of the OpenWeatherMap API, right? If you read the documentation section, there is a guide, there are some API documentation. You can go there and you can read it. Okay. And basically, whenever you read it, there will be some specific API documentation also. When you go there, it will give you the addresses and all those things. I know the address and directly I'm going to keep it there. I will send it to you also, right? This is the address,
Okay.
right? So basically, this is the address on the internet that you have to basically, let me just paste it here also. This is the address of this backend API. Are we getting it? So this is the URL where we
Yes.
have to send the data. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I will say that there is an URL where you want to send the data. So I will do one thing. I will create a variable and I will save the URL information, right? This will do one thing. This will basically do one thing. This will save the address where we have to send our request, whether it is get post or whatever it is. Okay. I will use one strip method. Why I am using strip method? Semi, any idea about that? So that whenever you give some extra spacage on the start or at the end, it should be stripped so that you don't have extra spacage there. That is the first thing. Okay. Then what you are going to do, you are going to create one more thing, API key. There is a variable you are going to create, API key or something. And here you have to store your API's key. From where you are going to get the API key? Again, just now you saw that, right? You can create different kind of API key. You can see my screen here. Just a second, Sammy.
Yes.
My API's key, you can generate your own API key also. I will just copy that, right? And I will just copy that. I will paste that inside the API key section. So we have the address, we have the API key. What is API key? API key is basically kind of a token or a access token, or we can say that it basically you have created your account there on the OpenWeatherMap API. Now you are member of that company, right? You are member of that website, or you might subscribe. You can pay something to them, right? Now you have paid something, or even if you are a member, they are going to provide one token. Using that, you can say that, hey, I am your member. I want to know some information. I want to fetch the API. Please give me the information. So this is like a token that can be used. Is it fine? Are we getting it, Sami? So we have
Yes.
the URL where we have to send the request. We have the API key, the token using that we can ask the information. These two things we already done, right? Then what are we going to do? We have the method. We are getting all the information from that entry section, right? There is going to be one entry section. We are going to get the city name from there. Let's say that someone has not entered anything, right? Let's say that we have not entered anything. For example, let's say that this is the case and I want to send the GET request. That is not the correct thing. That is why I can add one simple line that if not city, that means if you don't have anything in that city, in that case I can write a very simple thing that return, or you can display one message. You can display one, sorry, I can display one message. I can print a message that please enter city or something, but you don't have to print it. Why? Because we have to display it on the screen, right? You can see that there is a
Yes.
section here. We can do it, right? What is the label name? Result label, right? So I can just configure that. We can say that result.config, and I want to basically pass is message that enter a city name, right? And we just have to return from there. I don't want to send any request because this is not the correct place. We have to do it. Now, if that is not the case, we have entered the city name. In that case, I want to send the request, and that is why we in Python we have a request method. There are some HTTP protocols, right? Again, I will explain more about the HTTP protocol. Whatever you have seen here, no, that is HTTP protocol only. Whatever you have seen, like crude methods, like send, create, push request, post request, get request, put request, delete request. That are the part of the HTTP protocols. Python provides a request library that basically helps to send the request to the APIs. Okay. And that request has a get method. If we have entered the city name, in that case, I can say that requests dot get method. I want to send the get request. Now there are some things you have to basically prepare. Semi. What you have to prepare? You have to prepare the parameters. You have to basically this has basically you have basically to pass three things. One, you have to pass the URL. What does that mean? You mean to pass the URL where you want to send the get request. This is the address. This is the address where you want to send the get request. The first thing you have to pass that. Second thing, you have to pass some parameters. Okay. What are the parameters? You are basically sending a request. The request is not going to be blank, right? You can, with that request, you also have to send some data also, right? With the get request, you need to send some data also. The request is not going to be blank. What data you are going to send? At least you have to send the city name, right? Other than that, you are
Yes.
sending the request to the API. So the API needs some data. The first data, it needs the URL where you want to send the where you say URL. That is one thing. Using the get method, you pass the URL. That is the first thing. But it needs some extra data also, right? It needs what is the city name. It also needs the API key also, right? You need to send the token that I am your member. Please provide the data. So the second thing, you need to do that also, and you need to some extra information also, right? So that is what we are going to do. So let's create a parameters. Okay, I am saying that params. Okay, let's take that params is equal to, and again we are sending an object. Yesterday I explained that what is object. It is similar. We have something called JSON, JavaScript object notation, that we basically use whenever you are sending a request to the API, or whenever you are getting a response from the API. The communication happens in the format called something called JSON. Do you remember that from yesterday's class, right, Semi? Like we have
Yes.
seen that like there is something called JSON. Whenever you are sending the request, you have to send that in the JSON format. Whenever you are getting the response, you will get the data also. You will get the response. In the response, we have the data, and that data is going to be in the JSON format. We already know that. This is what we are creating. We are creating exactly in the format. And I told you that in JavaScript we have JSON. In Python, when we deal with it, we can create object, and it can be internally converted into JSON format. They are the same, almost same, right? We have to pass two, three things. First, you need to pass Q. Again, how did I know that we have to pass Q? This we will again get in the API documentation. When you read the documentation, you have all those information that while sending the request, what are the parameters you have to pass, and what are the keys for them. What are the keys we have decided for them. Q is the parameter. And for the Q key, you have to pass the city, whatever city we have taken from the entry section, we have to pass that, right? And with that, you need to pass the API key also, the token that I was talking about. Again, we can see that API ID is there, right? API ID is there. That is decided by that is there in the API documentation. You can see there, and you will get all those things. That what are the parameters we have to pass, what are the keys we have to pass in the parameters, and units. When you are passing units metric, you mean to say that I want to get the information in the degree Celsius. Okay. Again, we will start understanding them later when we go into the API documentation. Let's keep it simple for now, right? So we have all the parameters now. Now what are we going to do? We are going to send the GET request, and first of all, we need to pass the URL. You know the URL already, right? We have to pass that.
Yes.
With comma, you have to pass the parameters also, right? Params is equal to params that we have, whatever we have created here, right? So these are the two things we have to pass. We can say send some timeout also. Timeout is equal to 8 or something like that. That means after 8 seconds you can just dismantle the request, right? If you don't get the request, you can say that we are not getting the response. What we are doing, same, we are actually sending the request of the get method, using the get method, right? Using the get method, we are sending the get request to the backend API. It is going to send you the response, right? I am going to create a variable called response, and we will store the response there. Is it clear, Semi? Is it clear?
Yes.
Then what are we going to do? We have to convert. We have the data in the response. So I am saying that the we got a response, right? And please do one thing. Please convert into the JSON format. Okay. Please convert the data into JSON format. Again, I will explain little bit about JSON now. Let's do one thing. Currently, I'm going to just print here simply data. Let's do it. Let's stop and let's run the program. If you see that, if I click on get weather, if I go to the console, can you see that? So we have got the response, and that response is in the JSON format. How do we basically access a specific information? Let's do it. Okay. I'm copying everything from here. Whatever we have here, I'm just copying it here. Okay. Let's go to here and I will inspect the code. I will go to the console section. Let's do something here. We have the data, right? And I'm storing
Yes.
that in this format. Whatever we have got from there, no, I'm just pasting it here. Okay. This is our
Okay.
data, and that is now in the data variable. Okay, what are we doing here? I'm showing that data is equal to, and there you don't need to understand all those things. Just try to understand how do we fetch the specific information. JSON.parse, again you will understand all those things when you learn about the web development and all those things. Okay, let me do JSON.parse, and in one thing I will clear everything. Let's go to the API. If I go to the API, let's take a very simple, let's go to the API documentation. We will get the data directly from here, right? And actually we are getting the same kind of data, but let's say that I am copying everything from here. Okay, let's take it fresh. Okay, and then I will come here, I will create a my data variable equal to what I'm doing. I'm using this symbol. I'm pasting the data that I have copied from there. Okay, let me just fix it. Press enter. Till here, everything is cool. Let's say that data, or let me use obj equal to. I'm using the same thing, JSON dot parse method, and in that parse, we are passing our what variable I had used, my data. I'm passing my data. Let me just press. Yeah, it's working. Now, again, what there might be something wrong, but at the end, whatever data we are getting here, whatever data we are getting here, the same kind of data I have directly copied from the API, OpenWeatherMap API. Okay, and currently you can see that after parsing, we can After parsing, you can see something like that. Now, semi, there are some things you need to know here. Can you see that there are different kind of keys? There is a base, there is a clouds, right? There is a chord, there is a ID, there is a main, right? Let's say that I want to access base. What will you do? You will write obj, you will write base there. Are we getting it? Can you see that?
Yes.
What information I got? I got station, right? Similar to that, if I write obj, let's say that I have to access temperature. So first of all, I need to write main there, right? There is a main key, right? Can you see that? There is a main key. And if I write main here, and if I press enter, can you see that? Whatever you had inside the main, you got everything here. Can you see that? But let's say that
Yes.
in the main, we have to access temp. What are we going to do? OBJ, first of all, I want to access whatever we have inside main, right? But after that, I want to access whatever we have inside the temp. So I can write again this one. And here I can write temp. Are we getting it? Semi. And if I
Yes.
write that, can you see that? It is giving you just 284. Let's say that I have to access fields like, say me, what will I do? Tell me.
We will write
I will write
obey
obj. Inside that,
and
I will have to write main. Yeah, tell me.
and then feels like.
Hmm. Then you are going to write feels like, right? You will write feels like, and you will just get that information. Are you understanding how to play with JSON at least? Right? You might be understanding that. Now, same, we have got the information here, right? We are saying that like we have got everything, and that is what is being displayed here, right? That is what is being displayed here. So what I'm going to do,
Yes.
are we getting some error also? Yes, it is saying some error. But again, let's go forward. We have got the data, and just I want to display the, we have the data. In that data, we might be having a main. Can you see that here also we have main? I will write main, right?
Yes.
Inside that main, if you want to know the temperature, I can see that, right? So here for that, I will have to write, we have the data, we have to write, we have to pass main, and you can see that the hint, right? And here you have to pass the temperature, right? If you run the program now, same, and if you go there, if you click on London, can you see that 24 degrees C? If I go to Google and if I write London temperature right now, right, what information we are getting? 26 degree, very close to that. Okay, very close to that. It is saying 24.99, that means 25 degrees, right? Now, if you know
Yes.
that, it is very simple, right? We can just configure our result, right? We can say that result.config, okay, result.config, and text is equal to whatever we have got it, right? Data main, and then temp, right? We got it, right? If you stop and run the program, now if you click on here, you can directly see there, right? And you can create a complete information, right? You can keep adding there. See me, let's say that here I can add something like that, right? Plus degree C, right? I can write degree C or something like that. Plus I can write more things here, see me, right? I can say that change the line, and after that I want to display something else also, right? I want to display description, right? I want to display some other things also. Now you know how to do that, right? Same way, when you
Yes.
stop and run the program, it is going to, you are going to give the information there. When you click on that, it will basically display all those things. We might be having some, there might be something wrong there. Okay, again, I'm not going to get into that. You know that you can keep concatenating other information there, right? If you click on
Yes.
that, if you stop and run the program, And if I, by default, we have this. Okay, what is wrong here? If I click on that, something is wrong. What is wrong? It says unsupported operand for plus, float, and string. Okay, so okay, got it. So we have to convert that into a string. You can't basically do some concatenation with the float value. Okay, that is what it is saying. So let's convert that into a string, and I hope that should work fine now. If I stop and run the program, if I click there, again we are getting some error. We are seeing that, but yeah, you can see that there. What you can do now, Semi, instead of directly configuring here, you can create the printable information, right? Printable info, and you can create all those things, right? You can write everything in the string format, and later you can
Yes.
just pass that information there and you will be able to display it. I hope that is clear. Simi, I hope that is
Yes.
clear. So this is how things works here, right? Now we have started exploring API communication. We have started exploring the HTTP HTTP methods, right? There are four kinds of HTTP methods: get method, post method, put method, and delete method. What are they doing? We have seen using the Twitter example. We have seen using some other information, right? That is how it works. Do you have any question here, Simi? If you have any question, you can ask me.
What was units and metric in parameters?
What? Can you say it again?
In parameters, units and metric.
Okay, you are asking about this part. We will explore that.
Yes.
Like we are going to read the documentation together. In the documentation, they have different things that is already mentioned. Whenever you want to see, originally no, you are going to get the information in the 284. That is not the real temperature. That is actually in the Kelvin value. So whenever you want the information in the Celsius, you need to pass that. Unit is equal to metric. Again, that is mentioned in the documentation. We will start exploring the documentation also, right? If you
Okay.
remove that, it's not that you have to pass all those parameters, but you need to pass at least two things. You need to pass the city, and you need to pass the API key, right? If you stop and run the program, now let's say that I want to display the information of that place. If I click on that, can you see that? It's not degree C, it's Kelvin actually. Now if you write 298 Kelvin to Celsius, can you see that? 24.85, closer to that, right? So basically that is for the
Okay.
degree C. You are sending the information that I want the information in the Celsius, not the Kelvin. Okay. Celsius, not the Kelvin. Again, these things
Okay.
are vague and that keep differing based on the documentation. And that is why now we have to learn how to read the documentation to know what are the different routes we have, what are the different HTTP methods we have, what are the different methods, parameters that have been defined there. You don't have to remember them. And again, you can't basically we have different kind of parameters, different kind of routes that will be defined in the documentation of each API. Monster API, we might be having different thing. Here we might be having different thing. We read the documentation and then we do it. Again, we will get into that. Simi, we will read it together and we will start understanding how to go through the documentation and all those things. Okay. So that's it. I think I will keep it till here, Simi. How was the class? Did you
Okay.
understand everything?
Yes. Thanks for this class.
Thanks for okay, fine. Like, did you understand everything, or do you have to ask anything, Semi? Can you write
I
the code now?
understand.
Can you write the code?
Yes.
At least we should write the code. Okay, first of all, I will send the
Yes.
URL. You create your own API. You take the API value from there, and then
Yes.
I'm sending the API URL. Okay, and you can share the screen. Start writing the code. You will understand better.
Yes.
Instead of writing degree C, I can take the symbol of degree from here. I'll keep sharing the screen. Okay. You should basically.
Okay.
Once we have started understanding API communication, no, how to call different HTTP methods, how to communicate with any API, and at the end we have to learn how to create our own backend also. Then we can create some very good kind of applications like any chat application or any this kind of application like e-commerce website or Facebook kind of social media. You need to understand the front end part. You need to understand how to create the API, how what are the HTTP methods we have, and then you will be able to create small applications like that.
Yes.
Share the screen also, Semi.
Okay.
Share the screen also. Share. And Semi, like at least I would request you to make a beautiful front end, and we will also learn how to add different kind of images also.
Okay.
Now you know how to get the API, right? Create a variable API equal to, and then you need to get the API
Yes.
from the account that you have created in on OpenWeatherMap API. In the string form, Semi, in the string form. In Python, you can't put something like that without any string or like you need to put that inside a data structure in a string form
Yes.
basically. Now you have the city name. You want to send the request to the backend API,
To the get
backend API of the Open Weather
API. Yes.
Map. How are we
Yes.
going to send the request? We have a library called request. We have a library called request. Using that library, we can send the get request, we can send the post request, we can send the put or delete request. You know meaning and use case of different kind of HTTP methods. First of all, you need to import request library. Same.
I imported.
You imported.
Imported.
Okay.
I have requested. Yes.
Okay. So if someone is not basically um, entering anything in inside the entry section, we just have to return by like by showing this thing. Right? We have to just return from there by just showing one message that like you need to enter some city name. Okay, cool. And now we need to send the get request using the get method. That get method needs three things. One, it needs parameters. One, it needs URL. Right. In the parameter, we at least need two things. Q is equal to city. Right. Again, from where this Q is coming, that will be known by reading the API documentation. Right. You can know that you by reading the documentation. Then we have to pass the second thing, that is called API key, and the API key that we have gotten from API ID, that is the API ID. So something is wrong there. If you read the documentation, you will get to know that the key that you have to pass for API, it is app ID, not API ID. Again, you don't have to remember that
Yes.
thing. You can know that by reading the document. So app ID, A double P ID. Spelling should not be wrong. App ID
App
is equal to
ID.
API.
Yes.
And you are passing your own API key. That is correct. Then the third thing also we have to pass, if you want the information in temperature, degree C.
Yes. Celsius.
Otherwise, it will send you in the Kelvin.
Yes.
That will be known again by the documentation.
Yes.
Again, you can read it that units is equal to metric that you have to pass.
Your.
Unit is the
Yes.
key, metric is the value. Hmm. And by that, the backend API, it's not metric. Okay, yeah, metric, yeah. So by that, the backend API will understand that we have to send the temperature in Celsius. Now you prepare the parameters. Now we have to send the GET request. The GET request needs at least two things, right? You need to pass the URL where you want to send the GET request. You need to pass the address where you want to send the GET request. You need to pass the URL. Okay. You send. You can use the positional parameter also. Yeah. Cool. Params is equal to. It's not params. I think
Params.
params. Yeah. Params is equal to params. That is good. Hmm. No, you have created a variable called params, and that is fine. Same here. It's completely fine. Even if you variable name can be anything, right? Even if you write param, whatever it is, like it, that is fine. Timeout is equal to 8. You are passing
Yes.
the URL. You are now sending the
Yes.
GET request to the API, the backend API. You will now the API, the backend will fetch the information of that city and it from the database, and then it is going to send you the response. That response is going to have the data. You need to convert into the JSON format. So now you can say that data is equal to response response dot, you are writing red. I think the
Yes.
method name is in small. I think JSON
Jason.
JSON small. Cool. Just print the data first of all. Just print the data. You will get to know the different things that you are getting in the data. Just print data.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Hmm. Run the program. You are getting some error. Name get is not defined. Did you mean set?
Oh yeah.
Where is that? Okay, okay. So we have to call the function. Mm-hmm. Pass Oslo,
Okay.
get weather, and you are getting the data, right? You can see that chord, but you have to display the temperature, right? You can display the minimum temperature, you can display the feels like, you can display the maximum temperature, pressure, humidity,
Yes.
sea level, ground level, and can you display more information? Just don't display the information that I have displayed. You can display a lot of things there. First of all, prepare the data separately. Semi, I would say, prepare the data separately. Create a variable, create a separate variable, prepare the data there, and then you pass it.
Like yes.
Data
Okay.
string or something like that. Data string, display string, something like that. Create a variable first. Okay, data string. Cool. Equal to. Now, you know how to do that, right?
Equal to.
Data is representing the complete information you are getting. You just need to get the main first of all. Main has to be inside the string form. Main is the key. Main
Yes.
has to be inside string. It's not a variable or something. You need to pass that as a key. Yeah. If you want to display the temperature, yeah, get the temperature. But it is saying that you can't use
Uh,
concatenation with the float. You need to convert that into a string, first of all. Very cool. Very cool. Hmm. Degree C or something like that. You can get the symbol from YouTube. Sorry, Google. But you should not display just like that.
like
Same. It should you should display temperature is equal to this. Temperature colon something like that, right? You should display something like that. Again, you can figure it out. Okay, cool.
Celsius.
Hmm. Oh, cool. Very cool. Same thing, you can start using if string. That was not in my mind. Okay, very cool. In double quote. You're smart, man. Like that, like I was not having that in my mind. That like we can use if string. Wind speed, gust, clouds. That's it. Like we can keep it till here. After the class, you can try to display more information. Make it more beautiful. Semi the UI part, the front end part. Okay. Now go there and display all the information at least.
Okay.
Whatever information we are getting, at least we can display it. How to do that? You know that. Like you just have to configure the frame. Text is equal to data data string. Okay, fine, cool. Run the program. The application is already running, so you have to close that first of all. Close
Yes,
that.
yes.
Syntax error. That is a very minor mistake. Um, what is wrong here? Unmatched. Fine. Let us start from very beginning. So
Mm,
str data main till here we have everything fine. Go right side. That was correct actually. You didn't need to give that. So, like if string should work fine, right? If string should work fine.
but it's saying it is
Okay,
not.
let's
It is
let's keep it
unmatched
simple.
with.
Let's say yeah, let's keep it simple. You can try it later. Run the program now. Okay. That needs to be also converted into a string form.
Yes.
Last double quote we need to remove. Hmm. Cool. str.
I think it's fine now.
Yeah, now it should be fine. Okay,
Yes.
cool. We are again having error in what? It says that go down. We don't have error there. Exception in Tkinter. You are trying to configure frame. Do one thing. Go back in the code. Semi. Close this one. Semi. Close this one. Go down. No. Go down. Go down. Don't use frame. Create a label. Create a label. Just write frame is equal to label.
Label.
Frame is equal to label.
Okay.
Label. Don't use this one.
Yes, yes.
You know that. You are trying to configure something that should not be configured with text. Remove that height with BG. Semi. Remove that height, width, and BG parameter. Keep it very simple. Cool. Just run the program. Hmm. Oh God. Cool. Great. So 18 degrees Celsius, it feels
Yes.
like 17.7. You can modify it. Semi. It should look good, right? Temperature colon this colon this colon this, right? You should display something like that. Okay. Semi. So exactly come here. I will basically do one thing. I'll show you basically what do I mean. Okay. Exactly, that is not possible using Tkinter, but again, I will show you that. Right. Come here, see my screen. Okay, I'm sharing the
Yes.
wrong
Okay.
tab. Let me just share my window. And here, if I go to 808, sorry, localhost 804. If I write Oslo here, and if I click on get weather, can you see that? It is saying description on the right side after colon, it is saying overcast cloud, right? Temperature,
Yes.
there is a colon, and after that we have this one. Same, and you can see also one thing overcast cloud, and in the back end we have a cloud symbol, right? But again, I will, so we have
Yes.
to write some logic to add images based on the temperature and the information, right? One more thing we have to understand, same. Just like this OpenWeatherMap API, there is something called Unsplash API also. Okay, we can integrate that also in our this thing. Why? Because whenever you click on something, now let's say that I'm writing Chennai and you click on that, it will take a different image from Unsplash. Just wait. Can you see that? It is taking a different image.
Yes.
Overcast cloud, and this time it is displaying rain. We can work on that also. But at least I'm very happy that you have completed everything. Okay. Your father is around, Sami?
Yes. He's here.
Okay. Can you
Let him.
recall him?
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Akash.
Hi, sir. How are you? So
Doing good, thank you.
we have created this weather application, and
Hmm.
like I'm very happy. This guy is very smart. Like I'm very happy. Today I was explaining everything, like how this is the architecture of the front end and the back end, and
Hmm.
whenever we have created this kind of front end. It's a very simple front end anyhow. Like it's a, created by this Kinter, right? Whenever we learn this web development and all those
Hmm.
things, this also has been created by one of my students. And here also you can do the same thing, but this has been created using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Java. So
Hmm.
in this case, obviously we can create a very good UI. But with Kinter, we have some limitations. But again, the architecture is same. For example, this is the front end. We send the request to the backend. Backend fetch the data from the database. It fetches the data and sends you back the data, and that is what basically you display here, right? That is what the data that you display here. And this is the
Yeah.
same kind of architecture that we have in the Twitter or Facebook also. I was explaining that also. I said that like this, say this is
Hmm.
our this is my Twitter account, right? Whenever I have to post something, what kind of method we are using, what kind of HTTP method we are using to, we are sending to the backend, right? We are sending, whenever we have to uh, post something, or let's say that we have to upload
Hmm.
any image, we have to write something, we actually send a post request to the backend. Whenever let's say
Hmm.
that this is my Twitter handle, right? And if I want to my if I want to go to my profile, whenever I click on profile, we are sending a
Mhm.
get request to the backend. It is sending me the profile, and that is what I am displaying here, right? That is what is
Yes.
being displayed here. If I click on that, that is what is being displayed here, right? When you click on some images or something like that, now you are sending a
Mhm.
get request. So this is the architecture behind all the applications that we see generally.
Yeah.
This kind
Yeah.
of applications are basically being used everywhere, like in this Facebook
All
or
internet.
Facebook
Yeah,
or
definitely.
like Twitter or whatever. Most of the applications are crude application, and this kind of methods
Mhm.
also only we are sending to the backend. And this is the core
Yeah, that's correct.
of the complete front end and back end architecture. And I wanted to do this with him. He's very smart, and I just didn't want him to stop till here. He learned everything, right? And I wanted him to learn things that interest him further,
Mhm.
right, that evokes some feeling of enthusiasm and interest. So
Mhm.
that is what we have done.
I
And this
appreciate, yeah, I appreciate your time and for your extra course, which was very informative for him.
totally fine, sir.
And I
I'm
believe,
very happy to do the class with him. Like it's totally fine for me. And I just wanted to do this with Semi. He has been so smart
yeah,
in the
thank
class.
you.
Like he
I
has been
appreciate.
so sincere and so good in the classes. This kind of
Mhm.
student, if I just keep till curriculum, that will not be good, right? I want him to learn better. And this
Yeah,
was one
thank you.
application. And so in this application, we have started exploring how to communicate with the backend, right? Now, like
Mhm.
we have to still learn some things. He had some questions that like, why are we sending this queue? Why are we sending this app
Mhm.
ID or why are we sending this unit metric? That he asked me that, and I did not answer that for now because like uh, that is not something he has to remember, and that is not something I know also. We everything these kind of information is there in the documentation. Now we have to gradually understand how to read the documentation so that you don't have to
Mhm.
basically you don't have to dependent on me that what are the parameters you have to send. You can understand by reading the documentation. That is the next page, and gradually we will explore that also. We will I'm thinking to do one or two application with him. One application I want to do with him where we will do some image generation kind of thing, right? On chat GPT and all
Yeah,
those things. You can give the
that's
prompt and
interesting.
it can basically generate one image. So we are not generating the
Mhm.
image anyhow, but there are different kind of APIs. We are using this OpenWeatherMap API that is giving you all the data of Oslo or somewhere.
Mhm.
Right, so we are
Mhm.
connecting with this data. Similar to that, we have Monster API, and using the Monster API, we can send our prompt, and that Monster API is going to generate the. It is going to connect with again like it's MCP and all those things. There are a lot of architecture that goes behind the backend. It sends the prompt to that MCP server and the connected services. It generates the image and
Mhm.
sends back to the front end. We have to display that. So I want one application to do. That application also I want to do with him. So
Yeah.
I hope
It
you
sounds
understood
very
everything. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I believe that would be a good start for web development course for him.
yeah,
We are
yeah, yeah,
planning
yeah.
to begin late in August or in mid-September, and we will keep
Uh-huh.
you informed. I already
Yeah,
booked,
yeah, totally.
but I
That
will
is
keep
totally
you
fine. That is
updated
to
when we
yeah, that
when
is
the
to
it
that is
starts.
totally fine. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That is totally
So
fine.
for now,
Meanwhile,
mhm.
I will stay connected, and
So
whenever
for
I
now,
get some time,
thank you very much.
yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Anything that you want to
Mhm.
ask, Semi? How was the class for you, Semi? How was the class for you?
Mhm.
It was very good.
You understood things, right?
I
And
learned new things.
do one thing, Semi.
Yes.
One thing you have to do. Do one thing. Push it on the GitHub first of all, because see, Semi, you are doing all these things
Okay.
at a very young age. So GitHub is not just for pushing the project. It will work as a proof of work. It will work as a resume for you. It will work as a certificate. I don't believe any certificate that is going to be provided by any company, but GitHub is your real certificate. Whenever you show GitHub profile, it will be the real work. No one has to see your certificate or anything. They will know that these kind of work you have done, right? So push it on the GitHub. One thing you have to do, Simi, take a screenshot of this one. Take a screenshot of this one.
Screen, we can't see it
Yeah,
yet.
it's frozen, unfortunately.
Yes, we can
It's
see now.
coming.
We are seeing now.
Okay,
It's
can you
coming.
see it? The request and response and all those things.
Yes,
What you have to do, Simi, these are called HTTP request and all those things. Okay, this is called HTTP. Okay,
Local.
hypertext transfer
It's
protocol. Okay, hypertext. Let me write it here also. Take a screenshot of that. And see me, I want you to write a small article, whatever we have understood using the Twitter example, right? Or whatever we have done with the OpenWeatherMap API, what kind of communication we are doing, how we are sending the request, how we are getting the request, right? From a higher level perspective, you don't have to write all the technicalities, okay? Because there are a lot of things we have to learn. You have to learn a lot of things now. But from a very higher perspective, can you write a very simple article on HTTP request? How the front end, how to communicate from the front end to the back end, how we are sending the request, using what methods, right? What methods are being used for what purpose, right? How we are getting the response from there, how we are converting into JSON, and how we are displaying it, right? Can you write down a
yes.
small article whenever you have some time? Okay, don't
Okay.
push a
Your
lot.
screen is your, your screen is frozen. I will refresh the pages.
So sorry, let me
Can
just let me stop and share the screen again. Can you see my screen now?
It's coming, I
mm,
think.
no, but I think if I refresh the page, it will reload the page. It will come.
Okay,
I'm
let me
just
do one
reloading.
thing, Semi. Let me do one thing.
Onu anlattı herhalde. Bununla ilgili.
Yeah, Semi, can you hear me? Or can you see me?
Yes,
I can hear
Can
you.
you see my screen now?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah. So take a screenshot of this one first of all.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the architecture of the
I
front
will.
end and back end communication, right? We have used HTTP protocol. That means hypertext, hyper, let me write it,
I can
hypertext transfer
take
protocol. Okay. We
function
have four important hypertext methods,
şey,
HTTP
şey,
methods: get, post, post, and delete. Same, you need to use the Twitter example that I have shown you, also the Open Weather
Okay.
Map example while writing the article. You will learn a lot while writing. Try to write a lot after learning, Semi. Do one thing, always try to write something. Like you have done the code, that's great. But at the same time, try to write something. Try to type something as article form or blog form, right? I always do it. So there is a blog page of mine. If you go to akashkumarroy.blog, you can see that like I keep writing for my students, or whenever I learn something new, I keep writing here. So please start doing that kind of practices also.
yes.
Okay. So I think I will keep it till here, Semi. I'll not bore you further. Okay, like it was a
Okay.
very long class, right? Okay, fine. I will keep it till here. Anything else, Semi, that you want to share?
Okay.
Okay.
No, thanks.
Okay. So thank you, Semi. Thank you.
That was
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Thank you.
many
Thank you, sir.
things.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. 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 Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye.
We
Good
stay
day.
in touch. Bye bye.
You
Bye.
too, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.